The Pokemon Go community is in shambles right now. We have two major significant issues we gotta talk about. Our first topic is the upcoming changes to remote raiding as we know it. And our second topic is the Las Vegas Hoenn Tour and the many issues that came with it. And while I'm discussing all this, I'll throw some Pokemon Go B-roll to the side of me so you guys can watch me play the Hoenn Tour. You guys can watch me do some raids, catch some shinies, all that good stuff. Topic number one, changes to remote raids. If you guys haven't heard, there was a description update to remote raid passes in your item storage. As you can see, remote raid pass. A pass to join a raid battle remotely. You can join a certain amount, in this case 0, raids a day. Now that's pretty odd, and this had everybody in the community alarmed. The community is assuming that this update means that in the future, probably pretty soon here, you're gonna be limited to the amount of remote raids you can do in one day. And that is, that's very interesting for a lot of reasons, which we're gonna get into. But I should mention, this new description was actually removed. So it's no longer in the game, but that was no accident. I don't know if somebody accidentally hit the enter button or if they saw the community upset, they decided to take that away. But at the end of the day, that is no accidental message. I think more than likely, this is an official word. I think at some point soon here, we might hear some news regarding remote raid passes and the amount of them we can do in one day. Now that is just an interesting thing. I am not a fan of it. And rumor on the street, I don't know how true this is or if this has any truth at all, but apparently the limit is gonna be 6 remote raids a day. If that's true, that's kind of a problem, dude. I love raiding. I'm a raider. I raid all the time. I raid with my friends from all around the world. 6 is not enough. When this first came out, I was actually chit-chatting with Mystic7 and we were like, I mean, if it's 100 raids a day, I guess that's fine because 99% of people don't raid more than 100 times a day. Probably even 100. So 100's fine. And then if it was 50, it's like, okay, that's still a very, 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 very minuscule amount of people that raid 50 times a day. And if it's 20, that's pushing it. I'm not happy with it, but at least it's only 20. But if it's 6, man, I definitely do at least 6 raids a day, probably every day. Like I do a lot of raids. That's not even one full raid hour for me. So 6 is definitely a problem. And I hope that that number right there has no truth to it because I'd be pretty upset about that. Now the community has been absolutely going in on Twitter. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure on other social media platforms. Most people are not happy about this. Most people are like, what the heck? I love raiding. I love interacting with my friends around the world. Why? What is this for? It allows people to raid as much as they want. People like me love raiding as much as they want. Whether it's 1 raid a day or 0 or 55, we just want to raid if we feel like it. If Rayquaza is out, if Groudon, Kyogre, and Mewtwo are out, we want to raid our butts off. And putting a limit on that doesn't make a lot of sense because we just want to play. It's weird because remote raiding has made Niantic an incredible, a stupid amount of money over the last 2-3 years. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure one of the last couple of years has been like their highest grossing year ever. And I don't know if that number has been increasing or not, but they've made a ton of money from remote raids. Definitely from me alone. It's crazy and it doesn't make sense that they would limit the amount of raids you could do because they're going to be losing a lot of money. Another thing about Niantic that we know for sure, their mission statement, their purpose, their vision with Pokemon Go is to get out and go, is to get people out the house, to get people active, to get people exploring. I love that. I think that's awesome. So they do as much as they possibly can to get people out there. They're making a lot of changes to the game. Like the daily incense is now a fun feature to get people out and about. They nerfed the regular incense to where it doesn't really work if you're just standing there. They reverted the remote raid pass prices, so now they're technically a little bit more expensive. There's a lot of bonuses they've taken away or changed. They really are just trying to push people outside. And limiting the amount of remote raids you can do in one day definitely supports that. But it's safe to assume that Niantic also makes a ton of money from their in-person events, from in-person raiding, from live events. It's awesome for them monetarily. It fulfills their mission statement. There's a lot of different angles to view this from, but at the end of the day, I can't see this situation being a good thing for in the long run. I think it hurts a lot. It hurts the player base, man. A lot of people like me who really enjoy raiding. I mean, it's my favorite thing to do. This hurts us. This hurts my content. This hurts all of the most of the content creators. This hurts a ton of the players. Now, sure, maybe not the majority of people raid more than 6 times a day. Let's just keep using the number 6. Maybe not everybody in the world raids at least 6 times a day, but a lot of people do. And those lots of people spend lots of money. And I just don't understand how this makes much sense, to be honest. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this. This is a trend in the wrong direction, I would say. I'm sure we're gonna hear about this in the future sometime soon. There's no accident that somebody typed that all in and entered it and it was a mistake and it was never meant to happen. Seems like they were probably planning for this. I don't know exactly what's going down with that. I'll let you guys know when I hear more and if I hear more. But the community is very, very upset about it, and I am not sure how to feel. I see both sides. I love being out and about. I love socializing, but I also love raiding, and I think a lot of people around the world really enjoy it, and it's the way they interact with their friends around the world that they don't see and that they can't see. So that situation is a tough one. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think we all kind of agree, but let me know if you guys have any different insights or different perspectives on this situation. Situation number 2, and I'm sure I'm gonna be in the minority a little bit here, but I'm gonna stand on this. The Las Vegas Hoenn Tour just took place this past Saturday and Sunday, and I had an amazing experience overall. I uploaded my day 1 adventure and titled it Pokemon GO's greatest event ever, and boy, oh boy, did your boy get some slack for that. And while I understand where it came from, I just have a different mindset with how I view things. Let me explain. The reason why it was so controversial to say that is because there were many service issues and login issues throughout the day. I experienced them. I didn't log in to Pokemon GO till like 11:45 on day 1. I went like 2 hours without playing. I was just trying to log in. I walked all around the park. I switched phones, Wi-Fi on, Wi-Fi off. I couldn't get in. And that was the case for almost everybody I talked to. It was a problem. And luckily for me, I eventually got in and had a good time for the rest of the day, a great time for the rest of the day. But a lot of people had issues throughout the entirety of the day and throughout certain parts of the park and whatnot. I had a lot of people that were upset coming up to me on both days talking about how could they do this? How are they not prepared? I don't want to do this. I don't want to come to these events anymore. Yada, yada, yada. I actually 100% understand the frustrations. I had the same issues. I had the same problems as everybody. I didn't play for 2 hours. That hurt my content. That hurt my personal passion of playing the game. But at the end of the day, I did eventually get logged in and I got to play the remaining 6 hours. And also, they accommodated for the service issues and gave us 4 extra hours of gameplay towards the end of the day that spread throughout the city, not just at the park that it was held at. So in totality, obviously there were service issues and whatnot, but this event went from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. A 12-hour event filled with insane content and raids and all that good stuff. Granted, most people like myself spent a lot of time trying to log in and trying to play in general, but we got accommodated and it made the experience a little bit better. They didn't just leave us in the dust and say, sorry about it. They tried to help, they did their best. At the end of the day, they just weren't as prepared as maybe they should have been, and they weren't prepared for the amount of people that were there, and that's another conversation. I just pulled up this tweet right now that Pokemon GO tweeted out, and it is a mind boggler. Let's take a look at this tweet from Pokemon GO. Trainers, we appreciate the enthusiasm you showed today at the Pokemon GO Hoenn Tour Las Vegas. An additional 17,000 trainers without tickets joined us at the park, causing spotty connectivity throughout the day. This led to trainers disconnecting from raids, being unable to log in, and other issues with gameplay. We ask that trainers who do not have a ticket for Pokemon GO Tour Hoenn refrain from joining us at the park tomorrow to ensure a smooth event for Sunday ticket holders and trainers who have the Sunday extra day add-on. I understand what they're saying, but that is not a good tweet at all. Okay, so I've been to like almost every single live event Niantic has ever done over the last 7 years. This is the most amount of people I've ever seen in my life, dating back to 2016 Pokemon GO, dating back to 2017 Go Fest, 2018 Go Fest. There was too many people there, which was awesome. I love it, but there was a lot of people there. I think a number I kept hearing floating around was 40,000 something people, 50,000 something people. It was insane. Now, for one, there was 20,000 people who weren't even supposed to be playing that were at the park. And I understand like that takes away from the cellular service and it makes things difficult for the people who were supposed to be there and supposed to be playing, but that's fine. Like, let them come to the park and let them enjoy and let them prepare for tomorrow and be a part of the experience. People are traveling from all around the world to be a part of this. They don't want to just come on the one day that they're supposed to come to and then that's it. Like, let them enjoy the experience. Let them enjoy the weekend. I get it. How about just be over prepared? Get enough cellular service for double the amount of expected trainers you even thought were coming. I just feel like at this point we're 7 years in and let me say this, none of us have any idea what we're talking about, right? Maybe Niantic did everything above and beyond and they were over prepared and they were still underprepared or something didn't work out right. None of us know anything behind the scenes, but we could only assume. And from those assumptions, I will say, I think they were underprepared for the amount of people that showed up. And I don't want to say blaming the community, but blaming the community for showing up is a bad look. And I think that tweet should have been deleted and it wasn't. Very interesting. That was tough to see. That was tough to read. I know it's not as easy as it sounds and I'm sure it's expensive and I'm sure it's difficult and I'm sure yada, yada, yada. You just gotta be over prepared because people are buying tickets. People are expecting stuff. People are traveling across the world, across from wherever. They're buying flights. They're booking travel, all this good stuff. And for them to come to an event and have a bad time and go through all that and be excited and have a bad time because of technical issues on year 7 of doing this it just can't happen. It's almost like at this point, bro, like we're 7 years in. There's been a ton of live events all around the world. I feel like these are issues you see in year 1 and year 2, like we did see in year 1 and year 2, but not in year 7, man. I have a lot of respect for everybody over there. I truly think that we have no idea what we're talking about in some cases. I'm sure they tried very, very hard to make this perfect. Why the heck would they want to do this the wrong way? I'm sure they did everything and they thought of everything to make this the perfect experience. They wanted that for sure, but it just didn't end up coming to fruition. And although I acknowledge that, I do think they should take accountability in the fact that they should just be more prepared. I think they should have just been more prepared, and that's safe to say. And I mean, I'm gonna stand on that. Even if you need to over prepare, just be prepared, because people are coming from all across the world. People are excited and they want to be a part of this. And I don't care if 20,000 people show up. I'm sure it's expensive to get more cellular service. I'm sure it's even a little bit difficult. And I get that they shouldn't have been there type thing, but nah, man, if they're there, they're there. And I respect the people that came on their off days, because I would have done the same thing, bro. I'm gonna walk around and be like, yo, where should I hunt tomorrow? What does the gameplay look like? Yada, yada, yada. Let me be a part of the experience. Let me be a part of the community. This is what it's all about, right? Being a community. So just prepare more than usual. How about it? Again, I try to be objective and I try to look at all pros and cons from both sides. I think it's safe to say that tweet was not a good tweet. It should have been worded differently. It should have just been maybe more of like an apology, like saying like trainers, we weren't prepared for an additional 20,000 people to show up. We apologize. We offered, you know, X, Y, and Z to maybe accommodate for everything that happened. Sorry about it. But instead, I guess they came off as blaming. They were like, hey, please don't show up tomorrow. And while I understand that, like, I know that's an annoying issue for them. Just don't word it like that. And honestly, don't put it like that. And then next time, just be more prepared. We're 7 years in. We shouldn't be having these problems anymore. I know it's harder than it sounds. I know this may be asking too much, but is it? Okay, we got really sidetracked there with the tweet and the connectivity issues and that whole subject. But I brought all this up to say that in general, the Hoenn Tour, I'm gonna double down on this, was and is the greatest event we've had so far in Pokemon Go. I know there were difficulties signing in throughout the day. I know there were server issues. I didn't sign in for hours. Trust me, I get it. It's annoying, I know. But when we did eventually log in and we did eventually get to play, I think that the actual content of this event was amazing. Let me just list the things that went down during this event to put it into perspective. And let me also mention that on day 2, it was a lot better and there were not as many service issues and there were not many login issues from what I heard. Day 2 was a lot better. So day 1 was a little bit rough, sure, but it was only mainly for the first couple hours or so, and then it seems like they got it fixed and whatnot, and then also they accommodated. But again, let me list off all of the amazing things that this Hoenn Tour had. I know the service issues and all that was trash, and the tweet and all that, you know, gives this whole event like a bad rep. Let's focus on the good for a second. Here's all the crazy stuff that we got during the Hoenn Tour. First of all, the debut of the primal legendary Pokemon, Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. The new primal raids were awesome. The primal reversion animation and everything was very, very cool. That was so epic. We got that as part of the event. So dope. Love it. Another thing, we had, what was the number? Let me find the exact number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different legendary / mythical Pokemon available throughout the day. Name another event where we had that much in one day. I know there was like a Go Fest where we had like a bunch of different Pokemon and raids throughout the day and whatnot. That's fair to say. But these weren't all just raids. These were available in many different ways. We had Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre in primal raids, brand new primal raids. That was exciting in and of itself. We had Latios and Latias not only in timed research, but appearing in the wild, and they were shiny eligible. There were just legendary Pokemon all over the map. That was so fun to see. That was so epic. We had Regirock, Registeel, and Regice encounters in the free timed research, which was also epic and shiny eligible and legendary. That's cool. And we had normal, attack, and defense and speed form Deoxys in 5-star raids throughout the day. Mind you, these raids were cycling throughout the entire day. We had Deoxys raids all around the park, Primal Kyogre all around the park, Primal Groudon all around the park throughout the day, always ongoing. So we had a plethora of legendary and mythical Pokemon to catch. All of them were shiny eligible. All of them were epic. Some in the wild, some in research, some in raids. I mean, that's awesome, right? Like, I appreciate that. That's a lot of fun. Next up, the spawns. All of the Pokemon that were spawning throughout the event, every single one was shiny eligible. Like, any Pokemon you clicked on could be shiny. What's the last event that we had that had that? I guess technically maybe last year's tour or whatever, and the year before. But like, that's awesome, right? Like, that is epic. Anything you click on can be shiny. There was a lot of rare spawns. The spawns were really, really good in general too. The biomes were fun. And I'm only talking gameplay here. I'm not even talking about the real life park setup. That was a really, really good time. I love loved checking everything. A lot of rare shinies. We had new rare shinies. Dude, Torkoal, Relicanth, Tropius, Unknown, Kecleon, Surskit, Gulpin, Cacnea, and I'm sure I forgot a few. 2 new Pikachus. Come on, dude. There was so much going on. Also, we had special research, a bunch of stages of special research, encounters, XP, Stardust, items. That was awesome. And then that unlocked a Masterwork special research in which you get a shiny Jirachi from completing. Add that to the list of legendary / mythical Pokemon that we get from this whole event. That's another thing. Then we have the eggs from this event. What event has ever had this many good eggs? The 10-kilometer eggs were the 3 new regional Pokemon, or the 3 new regional shinies, Tropius, Relicanth, and Torkoal, and those were all available, and they were awesome. And then the 7 kilometers were good too. And then the 5 kilometers had all of the brand new shinies, Surskit, Gulpin, and Cacnea, and then the 2-kilometer eggs also had some other stuff. So the eggs were all around amazing and all shiny eligible. What else did we have? We had amazing bonuses throughout the day. Dude, hatching a 10-kilometer egg with all the add-ons and bonuses and using a super incubator, it was like 1.7 kilometers to hatch a 10-kilometer egg. That's awesome. Like, I hatched so many eggs. If you guys saw the adventures, it was an epic time. That bonus was crazy. We had other bonuses. We had 6 special trades a day. We had 9 free raids a day. I mean, there was just so much going on. Content-wise, there was nothing to complain about with this event. I think content-wise, this was Pokemon GO's greatest live event ever. I can't think of another event that was this epic, this consistent, and this exciting. There was also field research like throughout the event that you can do and all that good stuff. Content-wise, bro, I don't think it's ever been beat. I really don't think so. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm pretty sure this has been the best content event, gameplay event so far. And I didn't mention a single thing about how amazingly perfect this park was for Pokemon Go. You could probably get a sense of how big the park was through my gameplay throughout the videos. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest park I've ever seen in my life. The habitats were large and spaced out, and there really wasn't any dead zones, in my opinion. For the most part, there was like a nice flow, and depending on where you wanted to grind at, you could have a great time. All the habitats had some fun designs too. There was music playing everywhere. There was sound effects. There was a bunch of tents and trading areas, and people were doing trivia, and there were giveaways. I talked a lot about the gameplay, but the real life experience, and let me not forget to mention the community, bro. There was 40,000, 50,000 people there, all coming together for one thing and enjoying the hell out of this gosh darn game we play. And it was beautiful, man. It was awesome to meet so many of you guys from around the world. I saw people who didn't know each other hanging out and playing together and chit-chatting and like, yo, do you have this shiny? Yeah, I got this shiny. Yo, let's trade. Let me add you. Where are you from? Oh, you're from there too. That's cool. Yada, yada, yada. Let me follow you on Instagram. Let's be friends on Facebook. Whatever. It was people coming together, playing the game, enjoying it. So many people smiling, happy. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe I'm too positive. But I think the pros really outweigh the cons. And I feel like, as usual, people like to yell about the negative things and kind of disregard or whisper about the great things that this game offers and that Niantic does in general. Like, everything that Niantic does good, it's like, yeah, that's awesome, cool, whatever. Everything they do bad, it's like, how could you? This game sucks. I'm out of here. You know, it's just, we got to find a middle ground. We got to be better as a community. But at the same token, they got to take responsibility for the wrongs that they did. They got to be more prepared in the future. And they got to delete that gosh darn tweet, bro. It's a bad tweet. It's a bad tweet. Man, this was just one of those rant videos. We probably do like one of these a year. I try to be as level-headed and, you know, straightforward and objective as I can. But there's a little bit of bias in there on both sides. And also, enough of the narrative of like Niantic is telling me to say good things about them, or Niantic is telling me to like not say this or not say that. Like, bro, I'm me, you know, and I've been telling you guys how it is and how it's been for 7 years now. You can fact check me. You can hear me in person. You can hear me on streams. You can hear me in videos. I say the same stuff all the time. It's an unbiased opinion. I have a positive mindset. I try to look at the pros and cons. I try to understand both sides. At the end of the day, I've been playing this game a lot. I've been in the community for 7 years. I've been playing this game 24/7. I think I got a good idea, a good understanding of how things work. And I respect you guys' opinion. I hope you guys respect mine. I didn't take any offense. Feel free to like say whatever you want in the comments down below. I love engaging in discussion and debate. But let's be critical and not just saying negative things and not offering solutions, or not just complaining, but maybe, you know, like being insightful instead of just being negative and all that good stuff. I feel like I've probably said too much. Who cares? Just wanted to do a little rant video. Hope you guys understand. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the remote raid issues, or, you know, the changes, I should say, and how that may affect Pokemon Go. Let me know what you guys think about the tweet, and let me know what you guys think about the Hoenn Tour. For everybody I met over the weekend, honestly, very, very beautiful trip. I met a lot of you guys over the years, and this trip was really, really nice because there was so many of you guys. But a lot of kind words, man. A lot of nice people out there. Really appreciate all the interactions we had. It's just a lot of good times, bro. A lot of good times. And man, if you just just focus more on the good things going on, then the bad things don't seem as bad, you know? And I like to focus on the good things. And there was a lot of good things from this past weekend. So I'm gonna remember those good things and kind of disregard the bad things. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't do these videos often, but I thought this one was important to make. Hopefully you guys, you know, can respect my opinion as I respect yours. We got a great community here. Let's keep it solid. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it positive. But also, we do got to keep each other accountable. And that means us. That means them. That means everyone. We're a community. Let's act like it. See you later, I guess. I don't know how you end one of these videos. Bye.